there's a man that I met that he's not replaceable. Like, and I'm like, you'll never be replaced. I appreciate everything you've done. You've done so much, but
Jasmine.
I think he understood. Okay, here we go.
Now, I'm curious. How did he take it? What was his response?
Oh, he was very upset. I expected him to be upset because he didn't want to, he didn't want to break up. But like, I expected him to be upset, but he understood. He actually was very understanding. So he was like, "Yeah, I get that. I get you could be looking for this, but who's to say I can't be that?" And I'm not saying you can't be that. I'm just saying you're not that right now.
I think you got to look at the transactional part of the relationship when you talk about replacing people. That's when you can tell whether or not you can replace them. What am I using you for? What do you bring to the table that I value? For example, you may have a man in your life that accommodates for 80% of your lifestyle expenses. I mean, you can get another man who will do worse, and another man who do same or better. And I think that you really have to look at it from a different angle. Like depending on how long you've been with this man, especially specifically for women. I mean, if you've been with a man for 20 years and you pushing 40, 45, and this man is accommodating for most of the expenses, I think it would probably be a little bit more difficult to get out there in the dating market and find a man that's willing to accommodate for that because your leverage is starting to decrease at a certain age. So I would argue, that's the only way I could see that this argument of somebody saying that you can't replace me. It ain't another man that's gonna come in your life that's gonna do the things that I'm doing. It's gonna provide the things I'm doing because you don't have the leverage anymore. That's the only argument I could see coming out of this.
Relationship wise is different. He's talking about from just a person perspective, and that's not what I view when it comes to relationships. In relationships, like everyone else has already said, almost is that you are not replaceable. There is only one you in general, which is what the pastor said as well. But when people come back, hold on, there's a whole argument happening in my house. Give me 1 second, please.
What?
It did sound a little crazy back there.
Somebody trying to get replaced.
I think he's speaking on something completely different, like because I think he was trying to touch on the same thing, but took it kind of a different way. Because he's speaking on like religion and like God making you a certain way. That's DNA. Of course, everyone is different. No one has the same set of DNA. But as far as replacing you in a relationship, I would assume that everyone is looking to replace someone. If you're not with the person you first ended up with, you're gonna be replaceable. But just in the sense of me feeling like I'm irreplaceable, I feel that just because of my unique characteristics and certain things about myself and mindset and things like that makes me irreplaceable. So whether you move on, that's fine. You can find somebody that's more suited for you because you didn't work for me. Like most of the time my relationships don't work because they don't work for me. So it's like, okay, I'm replaceable. I'm not replaceable for you, but you're replaceable for me, if that makes sense. So because I only contest that because I know that all of my exes have always tried to come back and get back with me. With like once they feel like, hey, look, I did something better. Hey, I leveled up. Hey, I did this. Like come and read the resume back and be like, all right, I think I'm ready now. So I'm like, okay, no, that's not how this works. But I feel like, but there's a man that I met that he's not replaceable. Like, and I'm like, you'll never be replaced. I appreciate everything you've done. You've done so much, but I need a different version of you. Like I need a better version of you. I need someone that makes more sense for my life, that type of thing.
Wow. So you've told a man that?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Like he was a really ambitious, like artsy type of person, but I'm like, I need someone that still supports me in the way that you do, and like, do all the intimate things that you do. But I need somebody that's focused on like career and family and things like that, like building towards something. So yes, and yes, you know,
Jasmine.
I think he understood. Okay, here we go.
Now, I'm curious. How did he take it? What was his response?
Oh, he was very upset. I expected him to be upset because he didn't want to, he didn't want to break up. But like, I expected him to be upset, but he understood. He actually was very understanding. So he was like, "Yeah, I get that. I get you could be looking for this, but who's to say I can't be that?" And I'm not saying you can't be that. I'm just saying you're not that right now.
Well, Jasmine, this is a way you can tell whether you was replaceable or not, and you can actually confirm that. If any of those guys got a woman now, if you could sit here and be honest with yourself, If you say, hey, look, and you call one of those your exes that say they always wanted to come back to you and say, hey, look, whatever girl you with, drop her right now and come home, come back. If they do that, then maybe your statement is true. But if those guys ain't dropping their woman they got right now, sister, you replaceable.
I believe they would though. I ain't gonna test it though because I don't want them. Because I don't want to break up their little messy happy home. I don't want them.
And how old are these guys?
They're probably like upper 30s.
Fellas, is there any woman right now that fellas that got a woman in your life right now? If any of your exes, this probably was an ex or two that you probably tried to get back during the time things hit a rough patch and y'all broke up. But it ain't no woman. I'm telling you, once you get to a certain age as a man, once you devote to a woman and you commit to a woman, it ain't no woman that can call a man that's a grown ass man that's doing his thing right now and leveled up and actually love his woman. It ain't no woman in this world that can call him and tell him. That's a female thing. A man is gonna hold his ground. He gonna be anchored down. He don't give a damn about none of that stuff.
I want to
So
say
I just find it hard to believe that you can have these men come back running.
Well, dudes spin the block. I don't
yeah,
know.
I was just gonna say that. That is not a
But-
telltale sign that
Yeah.
you know what I mean, that you're irreplaceable.
Yeah,
because they
that
will.
ain't how we keeping
Spin the
score.
block
I'm talking
is
about
that-
coming back and,
Yeah, he's
and
talking
leaving
about
your woman.
coming back fully. Spinning the block is hidden.
Yeah, you can come back and get some head. I'm talking about how we keep score.
He wants somebody to dump their current relationship to go back into a past relationship, like to prove
That's what I mean by replace. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
That's
I mean,
different.
I don't
I'm
really
not saying
think
that
that
I don't
that's I don't think that's a good telltale sign either, because for example, like I had a situation where it came down to me, and another woman. I bowed out because I don't compete with anybody. But when years later we revisited the conversation, I mean, she won because she was never gonna leave him, and he wanted to ultimately be with somebody that was never going to leave, no matter how much BS he was putting out, because he puts out a lot of BS. So he said, in a perfect world, I would be with you. You'd be my wife. I love you, but I know you'd leave me, So
But when it comes to being irreplaceable, I think just like what Sweeney said, nobody cares. And it's just what these stupid pastors love to do. They love to just make the people in the audience feel like they're irreplaceable. Nobody cares, because in most cases, I don't want another you, because that's why I got rid of you. Like, I don't want your ass. Why would I want another your ass? No, go away. And I want to find somebody totally different than you, because you're annoying and you talk too goddamn much, and get out. So who the hell wants a person just like the last person they was with? It just don't even make no sense.
if
Yeah,
they
it's
don't,
like-
you will do. You speaking from a place like if you left them alone, but if they left you alone, that's a different story.
It's almost like the Forrest Gump and Jenny relationship. If Forrest Gump would have found him a wife that he loved, he would have been saying F Jenny. And I don't know if y'all saw the movie. Jenny, however, came back to Forrest whenever she know that she couldn't. Her pussy, it got tired. You know what I'm saying? She went back to Forrest. But it ain't gonna happen the other way around. Once a man get out there and find a wife, one thing about how we move, once we get out there and find a wife and we commit, that's it. We loyal. We holding it down. We ain't worried about no exes. None of that.
I think there's always that one that got away type shit too, right? Like somebody that, for men and for women, like people that we wish we could have been with or made it work, that we should have been better for, maybe, that we should have loved a little bit harder, or done whatever needed to be done to mend a relationship, and we didn't. I think there's a lot of stuff like that too.
Do you realize we don't even care about that person? It's just men don't like to lose. We don't like to take a loss. It's not really about you being irreplaceable. We just lost. So sometimes we want you back out of ego because we lost you. It's like losing a game. You're like, yo, run that back. I want to get my money back, or I want to get whatever I lost back. It's not really about you being irreplaceable. We just lost and we just don't like losing. So a lot of times we'll get you back and then we'll dump you because we didn't really want you. We just wanted to prove to ourselves that we weren't the real problem. So now you get back with the person, you're going to be like, you know what? You actually the damn problem. I don't want your ass. So yeah, y'all ain't irreplaceable, ladies. I'm sorry, y'all.
Childish, but okay.
Yeah, that sounded childish. I'm just gonna get back.
I'm just saying this. Yes, no, it's not a purposeful thing. He misses you because he's used to you. There's familiarity, right?
Oh, then he gets back like, you know what? I really don't want this shit. But you said
you
get to prove a point only because you lost. That's
what it's a feeling of losing. You never lost nothing. Like, yeah, you feel like, yo, damn, I lost. I messed up. Oh my God, I want you back. But that need to want her back is like, I want another chance. But then you get another chance. Most dudes fuck up the other chance because he starts to realize, like, yo, you weren't really all that anyway. Like, you get on my damn nerves.